very good morning to all. First and foremost, I would like to thank everyone for allocating time in their busy schedule to attend this event. Today, we are gathered here to celebrate our ingenious brainiacs, who are here to share their knowledge, learnings, and innovation with us. Before we proceed, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Ottoman, and I will be your host for today's event. Now, with much honor, I would request our school director, Ms. Geeta, to inaugurate this event with the auspicious lamp lighting and share her words of wisdom with us.
शुभं करोति कल्याणं आरोग्यं धनसम्पदा शत्रुबुद्धिविनाशाय दीपज्योति नमोस्तुते दीपज्योति नमोस्तुते दीपज्योति नमोस्तुते.
Good morning, everyone. My dear Excelsior children, my heartiest congratulations to all of you for putting together such wonderful projects despite your challenges of online learning. You've done such beautiful work, and I really appreciate that your teachers have given you this opportunity to showcase your learning. I'm sure your parents are really going to enjoy this, and I wish all of you a lot of luck and a very happy Diwali. Stay safe, stay healthy.
Thank you, Ms. Geeta, for all your blessings and pearls of wisdom. With the changing times and global challenges, one might wonder how we can prepare for what lies ahead. The world of education is no longer bound by those four walls of the classrooms and textbook knowledge. It has been replaced by experiential learning through video calls. As we find our lives flipped 180 degrees by the sudden pandemic, it is all the more reason to reflect and think out of the box. Experiential learning equips us with the ability to apply our knowledge to help solve real world problems. It not only gives us access to practice and test our skills, but also helps us to reflect. Experiential learning gives us the opportunity to build our social skills and find our way through effective communication. As Mr. Benjamin Franklin once said, and I quote, "Tell me and I forget. Teach me and I may remember. Involve me and I'll learn." With that in mind, it is my pleasure to welcome our school vice principal, Ms. Sarabjit, for a welcome address.
Thank you, Ariman. Good afternoon, everyone, and a very, very warm welcome on the finale of Ingenious Brainiacs 2020. We had our first round with our primary children. This morning, we had our middle school exhibition and finally the senior school exhibition. I would like to start by quoting Mark Twain, who said that continuous improvement is better than delayed perfection. Yes, journey is, in my opinion, much more enriching instead of just aiming towards reaching somewhere. The enjoyment of the process, the journey, that's what matters, and how much improvisation we do on daily basis is all that counts. And children, I'm proud to say that I witnessed continuous improvement, improvisation on your projects. How you hustled in the selection of which subject I should go with, your teachers running after you running after them. That was quite an experience, and I will count it as experiential learning. And finally, getting down with what project I'm choosing to go ahead with and giving it your best. I'm very, very, very proud of each one of you. Thank you for working hand in hand and making this event actually possible. A virtual fair, a virtual exhibition, something pandemic has taught us more than ever is adapting. And we are doing a brilliant job, absolutely. So my heartiest congratulations to everyone who has helped in big, small, any way to bring this entire thing together and making it successful. Heartiest congratulations, a very warm welcome, and I hope you enjoy this event. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Sarabjit, for your words of wisdom and encouragement. Indeed, thought-provoking. Now, without further ado, let's welcome our Ingenious Brainiacs of 2020. As we start off by combining two contrasting areas of knowledge and expertise, the arts and sciences, with Tane starting off with a soothing blues musical piece, followed by Gia as she showcases her model of water soaking roads, a monumental innovation in modern engineering in their radio show.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Tane, and I'm going to play a blues piece named Old Bones. Since I've been listening to a lot of blues music in the last few months, which has inspired me to play this piece.
Old Bones Blues. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay, thank you very much.
Hello everyone, my name is Gia and I'm in IBTP Year 1. Today I'm going to present to you my project called the water soaking road. Now, here are two roads, the normal roads that we have and the water soaking road. As we all know that when it rains, the water collects on the surface and causes difficulty to the moving cars and hence causes traffic. Whereas the water soaking road would soak all of the water and would not cause any difficulty. Now, here is the diagram of the concrete used to make the water soaking road. As you can see, there are air spaces between the aggregates. This is because we don't use sand while making the concrete, which makes the concrete porous and lets water to pass through the air spaces. I'm going to demonstrate how we can make the water soaking road. So what we have to do is we have to take gravel and cement to the ratio 3:1 and an appropriate amount of water. You must ensure that you mix it properly and not too much or not too less water must be used. Leave the sample for at least 24 hours for it to set in shade. You can see that I've prepared two different samples of the water soaking roads with two different types of gravels. Now I am going to demonstrate to you how the water soaking roads are different from the normal roads that we have. As you can see, all of the water accumulates on the surface of the road and can cause flood. And now after I pour water on the water soaking road, it absorbs all of the water and it helps increase the levels of groundwater, which helps to conserve water for human consumption. And as you can see the results, that the water soaking roads are much more better than the normal roads, because it can very much prevent flooding and it is very good for the betterment of our future generation. Thank you.
start like that, we know that the rest of this event will be filled by our ingenious brainiacs exploring their area of expertise as they share it with all of us here. Now let's travel to another area of expertise, the sciences. Akrish uses a combination of psychology and business to explain the influence of advertisements on people, followed by Virat, on the other hand, who uses knowledge from geography to explain the plate tectonic theory.
Good morning. My name is Akish Bhatani from grade 9
from the Excelsior American School.
and today I will be explaining the psychology of advertisements.
I'm little short on groceries. I should stock up for a week. Oh, there is a sale on Pop Tarts and a new flavor. I have to try it. Oh, my friends could not stop rambling about organics and their benefits. They are expensive. Ugh, whatever. I should give it a try at least. I need some chips. Oh, there is a bundle with chips and salsa. The salsa costs $5 less with the bundle. Oh, I completely forgot to buy eggs. I think I should buy them online. Oh, the shoes which I had really wanted are finally on sale. I better buy them till there is time.
Jessica had planned to buy some groceries for the week. Instead, she had spent a lot more than she had intended to. All of these products were wanted by Jessica, but the companies had influenced her by making her buy things that she did not even know that she had wanted. This is how advertisement influences us into buying goods or services that are not essential. Physical shops, there are an n number of posters and signs about products. People tend to have a curiosity of new types of products, causing them to impulsively buy them. As Jessica was inclined to try the new flavor of Pop Tarts and did not wanted to lose the opportunity after seeing the poster. Many consumers may already know about the growing virality of certain products. That is why they may decide to purchase it after they see it in person, acting on their want of that certain product. For example, Jessica had bought organic vegetables rather than old ones. Companies make bundle offers or discounts, such as buy a certain amount and get some free. The consumers are more interested and get a better value for money deal. Similar to Jessica, where she received a bundle offer with the chips, which made her buy them. Companies usually declare a discount offer for only a period of time or launch products which are limited in numbers. This actually acts upon the psychology of people by making them afraid to lose out on the opportunity. Therefore, the value of the product in the consumer's perspective is increased because of the limited supply. This was used by the companies on Jessica as well while she was browsing a site and came across the information for the limited time sale. In conclusion, companies use human psychology to sell more of their product, resulting more profit being generated by using human nature in their own favor. This might seem unethical, but at the end of the day, we can't stop and they are not forcing us to buy their products.
Thank you for watching and I hope everybody had a great time. And once again, thank you from me, Akish Bhatani, and thank you from the Excelsior American School.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Virat Kundra. Today I will be speaking on the theory of plate tectonics. So let's get started. What do you mean by earthquake? Earthquake is the shaking of the Earth's surface in the Nehru lithosphere, which is caused by seismic waves. This is known as earthquake. There are three types of plate boundaries: convergent, divergent, and transform. What do you mean by convergent plate boundary? Let's have a look. So, in the model, you could see the two theory of plate, the two plates, the two tectonic plates basically are colliding with each other and forming an enormous earthquake. This is known as convergent plate boundary. Let's have a look in the second plate boundary. Okay. The second plate boundary is known as divergent plate boundary. In the plate tectonics, a divergent plate boundary is a linear feature existing between the two tectonic plates which are diverging which are repelling. This is known as divergent plate boundary. The third plate boundary means the transform plate boundary. Let's have a look on the transform plate boundary. So, in this, you can see in the transform plate boundary, the two tectonic plates are are moving with each other and forming an enormous earthquake. This is known as transform plate boundary. This is also very dangerous and it's have a very much negative impact. This is known as transform plate boundary. Okay. At the end, I would like to conclude that these all theory of tectonics, these all plate boundaries are very dangerous, and they have negative impact on the economy, on the environment, and many other substances. So, thank you everyone. This is my presentation. Thank you.
Insightful explanation that Akrish and Virat have provided us has given us a new outlook on how we look at things around us, be it advertisements or the earth itself. Furthermore, we have two students combining art and geography, as Raphael showcases a demonstration of constructing a landscape using acrylic colors, and Surat showcases a 3D model of erosional coastal landforms.
Hello everyone, my name is Raphael and I'm from class 9, and I will be showing you a demonstration on how to make a very easy landscape using acrylic colors. Enjoy.
everyone. Today Sovrat Jain has prepared a model on coastal landforms created by erosion. So let's get started with it. Landforms created by erosion include headland, bays, and cliffs. There are four types of erosion: hydraulic action, abrasion, attrition, and corrosion. Let's start with headlands and cliffs. Headlands are formed when the sea attacks the section of coast with hard rocks and soft rocks. This leaves the land jutting out into the river known as headlands. Bays, the area where soft rocks have been eroded next to headland are known as bays. Caves, arcs, tracks, and stumps. Caves and arcs are created because of high pressure of water. The difference between caves and arcs is just that arcs are bigger than caves and have a curved surface above them. Stacks and stumps are created because of high pressure of water and crashing of small and big rocks. Wave cut platform and cliffs. So now, wave water attacks the bottom of cliff uh, due to storm and high tides. Eventually, at the same time, weathering also attacks it and weakens the cliff. The cliff is left with no support and eventually it collapses. The rocks are eroded and the sea erodes the rocks to proceed the steps to proceed the procedure, and the land and the cliff moves back, leaving a small rocky platform which is known as the wave cut platform. Beaches. It is made, as you know, the river and sea carry sand, dust, stones, particles along with them. When these sand and dust particles get deposited at one place, it forms a beach. Thank you.
Thank you, Rafael and Surut, for spending such an immense amount of effort to create something for this exhibition. It is something that we will all remember, as well as we've been motivated to learn these things ourselves. However, now Madhav will give us a video show that will showcase us an experiment as he checks the efficacy of sanitizers and soaps on bacteria, something that has been becoming more and more important in our lives as we speak.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. The aim of my experiment is to check the efficacy of sanitizer versus soap. So, the material used for my experiments are 4 Petri plates, sterilized agar, and cotton swabs. Alright, so now we've taken exactly 2.8 grams of nutrient agar and we've added it to our 100 ml of distilled water for our 5 Petri plates, and we've gotten this solution. Alright, so now we have our sterilized nutrient agar and our sterilized Petri plate. So we're going to take this and pour it into the Petri plate and wait for it to solidify until next morning. After overnight incubation at room temperature, here are the following results which have taken place. So, maximum growth of bacterial colonies were observed on the currency Petri plate and the unwashed hands Petri plate. However, 2 or 3 colonies were observed on the sanitized hands Petri plate, and 1 colony was observed on the soap washed hand Petri plate. Thus, I concluded that soap performs better than sanitizer. Here are the results in pictures of the observations for you to see.
Thank you, Madhav, for conducting such an experiment in order to enlighten all of us about the ability of sanitizers and soaps and how they protect us against bacteria. Moving on, we dive right back into more applicable knowledge of our real world as Amit and Daksh walk us through a model of hydroelectric power plant, followed by Natasha presenting on international trade.
Hello everyone, my name is Daksh and this is my friend Amit, and today we have created a model hydropower plant.
So, as we all must be aware that in India, water is the biggest source for producing electricity. So, in the year 2019-20, the total amount of hydroelectricity produced in India was 156 terawatt per hour with an average capacity of 38.71%.
So, how do you get electricity from hydropower plant? In a hydropower plant, the water goes through the pipe which spins the turbine, and due to this motion of the turbine, the generator spins which produces electricity. The theory is to build a dam in a large river where the dam stores the water behind it, which is known as a reservoir, and at the bottom wall of the dam is where the water intake is present. So gravity causes it to fall, which spins the turbine, and this means that gravitational potential energy converts to kinetic energy, which converts to electrical energy.
So, as like said, even in our project, we have created a hydroelectric plant. So, in our project there is a container which throws water down to which spins the turbine, and when it throws the water, air suction is created in the container, which sucks the water up, and the process continues, and the turbine keeps on spinning, and turbine and the generator are connected together. So, when the generator spins, the kinetic energy is converted into electrical energy, and that electrical energy is transferred through electrical wires to the cities and the road lines. So let me take you to the working.
Save water, get electricity. Thank you for watching.
Hello, my name is Natasha and I'll be presenting about international trade. The basic idea of trade. Now, trade is an economical concept that involves the buying and selling of goods and services within a country or between countries, often in exchange for money. Trade can take place within a country between producers and consumers. However, international trade allows countries to expand markets and access goods and services that may have not been available domestically. That is how we are able to choose between a Japanese, German, or an American car. Now, trade has a great influence on the country's gross domestic product, also known as the GDP. Not only do businesses have access to global markets, the governments around the world would generate their revenue by imposing tariffs on imports. But what would happen in a world where there were no government restrictions? Now, in a world where there are no taxes, limits, or any government restriction, firms are free to export and import whatever they want in whatever quantities they want. This is called free international trade. Free trade allows an efficient allocation of resources, with countries being able to produce products that they specialize in. This will help increase world output and employment, which will raise the living standards. Free trade increases competition, which will force firms to keep their prices down and raise their quality of products. This way, we, the customers, get to enjoy lower prices and are able to decide between a number of goods and services. But why are our favorite branded items so expensive here? Now, this depends on the exchange rate of a currency. This is the price of one currency in terms of another. For example, the US dollar is equal to 74 Indian rupees, but $1 US is equal to 0.85 euros. Notice how the euro is less than the US dollar, but the Indian rupee is far more. This simply means that the euro is a stronger currency than the dollar, and the Indian rupee is weaker than the dollar, because you only need 0.85 euros to buy $1, whereas you need 74 Indian rupees for just $1. So we living in India have to spend more of our money to get $1, unlike the Europeans. For example, the price of the new iPhone 12 starts from $699, which is roughly around 54,100 rupees. However, the selling price in India starts from 79,900 rupees, which is an additional of 25,800 rupees. All of that additional amount is a tax which is imposed on each unit, and its proceeds goes to the government. So for each iPhone sold, the government earns 25,800 rupees on each unit. Now this tax imposed on imported goods are known as tariffs. But why do government impose such high tariffs? Governments impose high tariffs on imports in order to protect domestic businesses from losing customers to foreign businesses. How this works is that after imposing a tariff, the cost for businesses will increase. They will pass on this cost to us, the customers, to cover the cost, which will increase the price of their products. This is a method of protectionism. Now there are other methods of protectionism as well. Governments may impose quotas, which is a limit on the number of imports allowed, or they may place an embargo, which is a total ban on imports, just like what India did with TikTok, Shein, and other Chinese products. Thank you.
Thank you, Amit, Daksh, and Natasha, for giving us information that is utilized effectively every single day, so we can know a little bit more about our world and be more global citizens. With this idea in mind, a video show by Gaurang will present us the concepts of nationalism and privatization as Anoop showcases how a drone is made.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Gaurang Gupta from grade 11, and today we are going to talk about privatization and nationalization. Privatization. The concept was first introduced by the Nazis in 1930s. It is the process of selling or transferring the ownership of state-owned enterprises to the private sector. Usually, a government deregulates while privatizing a state-owned enterprise. Importance of privatization: increasing the competition in the market, which reduces the prices of the products, increasing the efficiency of products and services as privatized companies want to increase their sales, and to increase the reserves of the country, that is national treasury. The amount earned from the transaction can be used to increase the reserves of the country. Here are some very famous privatized companies which were before nationalized: Dell, Burger King, Reader's Digest. Dell is one of the world's leading manufacturer of hardware and laptops. Burger King is one of the most famous fast food chains throughout the world, and Reader's Digest is the publisher of world-renowned general interest magazines. Nationalization. There is no specific period of origin for this concept, however, it gained popularity in the pre-World War era. It is the process of selling or transferring the ownership of private businesses to the government. Importance of nationalization. Destroying natural monopolies. Industry like water, oil, electricity tend to form natural monopolies, and therefore it is important for the government to nationalize them. Welfare benefits to all the people. Healthcare and education are some sectors that have to be provided to everyone, and therefore it is necessary that government nationalizes them. Long-term investments, or the automobile industry and the IT industry are such industries that require long-term investments, and therefore the government has to step in and invest that amount of money in these industries. Here are some very famous nationalized companies. SBI, that is State Bank of India. It has around 24,000 branches today throughout India. Air India. Air India was nationalized under the Air Corporation Act. Now, today, unfortunately, it has a debt of 70,000 crores. BBC News, it is one of the most famous broadcasting media house throughout the world. Thank you.
Hello everyone, this is Anup Pandey from IBDB Year 1, and today I have made a drone for my science exhibition project. So before I show you my drone, I would like to explain what drone actually is. since there might be some people who never have even heard of it. So drones are basically an unpiloted aircraft that is typically controlled by a remote controller. So now I give you a little bit of idea about what drone is. Let me show you my project. So this is a homemade drone that I made for this science exhibition. I think first I needed an ice cream stick in order to make the base of the drone. And after that, I got myself some DC motor, and then I glued it in the edge of the ice cream stick. I used a super glue specifically because that's the only glue that I could find that would be the best, the most suitable glue for this project, because I needed a glue that would stick it really tightly because I don't want it to be loose. So now after that, I used wires to connect to the power source. So for this time, instead of using a battery, I used a laptop charger because the laptop charger gives me enough volts, and also I can switch it on and off whenever I want to start my drone. And before I even power up the drone, I have to put the propellers in the motor because that's one of the most crucial components of the drone. And once that's done, now I'm ready. So now I just need to turn the power on, and you can see the drone is now working. So that is my project, the drone, and thank you all for watching.
It's amazing how Goring and Anoop showcase this understanding of complex ideas and are able to make us understand it so well, along with practical knowledge is shown by the drone, and they motivate us. This trend moves on further as we continue to dig in further of the real life applications of all this knowledge. With Subhasri and her experiment to demonstrate egg osmosis, with Ananya explaining the production of a solar cell.
Good morning everyone, I am Subhashri Sahu. I study in grade 11. I am going to do an experiment in egg osmosis in which I am going to demembrane the egg shell and then see the effect of osmosis on it. I have 3 eggs and 3 glasses. Now I'll put the eggs in the glass and then pour vinegar into each glass. I have poured the vinegar. Now all the eggs are submerged. I have covered 3 of them using steel plates, and now I'll let it stay for 24 hours. Now it's been 24 hours and I am going to replace the vinegar with fresh vinegar. So first I will put the egg in the plate. It's very Now I will put the egg back in the glass and pour vinegar again. The eggs are fully submerged. Now I am going to cover them again and leave them for another 24 hours. So, I have 2 glasses here, one named hypertonic and another named hypotonic. In the hypertonic one, I will put the corn syrup, and in the hypotonic, I will put normal distilled water. This is the corn syrup or the sugar solution that I have prepared. I am going to put it in the glass named as hypertonic, and in the hypotonic one, I am going to put only distilled water. Now I am going to let it sit for another 24 hours to watch the results. So let's check the results. This is the one from the hypertonic one. You can see that there is some yellowish thing formed and it has shrunk a little bit than it was before. This is the hypotonic one, in which the egg is same as it was before. conclusion was quite good because we were able to see the effect of osmosis on the eggs. The egg in the hypertonic solution that was in the corn syrup was actually shrunk from its original size, while the egg in the hypotonic situation that was in the distilled water remained the same.
Hello everyone, my name is Ananya Maheshwari. I'm from grade 11 and today I'll be presenting my solar cell project. This is a simple yet interesting experiment you can try yourself at home. I'll be taking you through the process and the physics behind it all. Let's get started. Solar energy, a step towards a brighter future. Solar panels consist of photovoltaic material that converts electromagnetic radiation from the sun into electrical energy. If suitably harnessed, this highly diffuse source has the potential to satisfy all future energy needs. How it works. The photovoltaic cell consists of a single crystal F semiconductor that has been doped so that one face is P-type semiconductor and opposite face is N-type. Normally, there is equilibrium between the charge carriers in both halves of the cell. However, if you take a look at this diagram, when energy in the form of photons falls on the photovoltaic cell, the equilibrium is disturbed. Electrons are released and gain energy to move from the N region to the P region and hence around the external circuit. We can measure the total power converted by the panel by using the formula P equals NIA. Now I will take you through the process of making the solar cell. To make this experiment, you will need a plastic box, 2 copper sheets, sandpaper, 2 alligator clip leads, water, salt, and a multimeter. Clean the copper sheet with the sandpaper to remove any light corrosion. Place the copper sheet on an electric stove burner and turn the burner on high. Let the copper sheet turn completely black and then continue to heat it for another 30 minutes. While the sheet cools completely, some of the black coating will flake off. Gently scratch that coating off. Place salt and hot tap water in a plastic box and mix until the salt dissolves. Place the 2 copper sheets inside the water. Connect the alligator clip heads to both of the sheets. Connect the positive terminal to the cuprous oxide sheet and the negative terminal to the clean sheet. Wait for a while and your multimeter should register a reading. Data and analysis. Now, you must be wondering, why use a copper sheet, or what's the use of salt water? Well, let me tell you. The salt water is a conductor of charge. When you put salt in the water molecules pull the sodium and chlorine from the salt apart, so they float freely. These ions are what carry electricity through the water. The copper sheet is because cuprous oxide that form on the copper. Cuprous oxide is a semiconductor, and immersing the plate in salt water and exposing it to sunlight causes the electron flow from the sheet into the water. Connecting the 2 copper sheets with a meter registers the electric current caused by the electrons flowing from the cuprous oxide layer to the clean sheet of copper. Conclusion. The efficiencies of present-day solar cells are about 20% or higher. However, extensive research and development is being carried out in many countries, and it is likely that the efficiencies will rise significantly over the next few years. The advantages of both solar heating panels and photovoltaic cells are the maintenance costs are low, and there are no fuel costs, so individual households can use them. Hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching. Bye.
Although we come across these items almost every day in our lives, we mostly fail to notice certain aspects of it. Thus, I would like to thank Subhashri and Nithya for highlighting those aspects and telling us how these things work. Last but not the least, we're stepping outside into the environment with Kaustav as he takes us through this journey of creating a continent.
Hello everyone, I am Kaustav
guys onto a journey of the continents. So let's head there. So this is Alfred Wegener. He is the one who proposed the concept of supercontinent Pangaea, though he did not have any substantial evidences to support his concept. So most of the geologists were highly skeptical and the idea was not widely accepted. Moving on, this is Pangaea, a supercontinent named Pangaea, split into smaller fragments about 200 to 300 million years ago. These then drifted apart to form the present arrangement of the continents as we see. This is what Alfred Wegener thought Pangaea looked like 200 to 300 million years ago. The fit of continents, South America and Africa fit like a puzzle piece, as you can see. After various attempts to fit North America and Africa, they found the best fit, which is the continental slope. After fitting them again, they found out that they had similar rock type, similar ice type, and similar fossils type. Distribution of other reptiles and plants, similar fossils are found on different continents. How could have they crossed the oceans? Conclusion, they didn't. The continents were part of the same landmass about 200 to 300 million years ago. Arguments that are favoring continental drift theory, fit of continents, rocks that are of same age and similar characteristics on different continents, then different distribution of similar plants and animals on different continents. How did they cross the oceans? Wegener's conclusions were that the continents have drifted over the past 300 million years to their present position. As you know, well, that was not really a popular idea at that time. This is how Wegener thought the continents moved over the last 200 million years. As you can see, 225 million years ago, 135 million years ago, and 65 million years ago, and today here we are. This is the present map of the world, and today, in today's world also, the continents are coming closer. So this could be the future. The predictions are that the continents, when they're coming closer, there'll be another supercontinent, which would be Amasia. This is how the future supercontinent Amasia would look like. So, thank you, and I hope you enjoyed the time travel with me.
Thank you, Costa, for driving us through this historical journey of the continents. Now, with the bonus presentation in hand, we have Adrian with a review of the Neuralink, followed by Nithya presenting us some fun with chemistry.
Good morning. My name is Adrian. I'm a computer science student of grade 11, and today I'll be giving a presentation on the term Neuralink. One might be intrigued by this proper noun, as it sounds as a very futuristic term. And it is. In the simplest explanation, Neuralink is a brain chip implant that would allow the user to operate technology. This is possible by the Neuralink being able to read the user's brainwaves and use it as an input in order to execute the user's command. This technology would allow people with some sort of body paralysis to use the technology around them. With this, they would be able to use smartphones or robotic prostheses with their thoughts. Many decades ago, neuroscientists have been able to observe brain activity in animals and could use the brain signals from monkeys to control artificial arms. Many experiments were also included in order to help paralyzed control computer cursors. However, only a few of them were able to develop such an idea as Neuralink. And in 2016, Elon Musk had co-founded the Neuralink. Now, the Neuralink would obviously come to help humans in many occasions, such as being an oscilloscope for brain. This means humans would be able to study the brain in a much more comfortable manner. The Neuralink would hopefully be able to alter one's emotions by sending inputs into the brain via the Neuralink. Disease prediction would come in hand with the oscilloscope part. However, I am not someone who would be able to go into depth regarding this application. The telepathy part will
would be just the Neuralink sending the input from your brain into electronics without any physical effort. And as I mentioned previously, it would allow people with any sort of disability to control electronics around them. Some of the key features of the Neuralink make it stand out, such as there could be floppy wires present in the Neuralink, the chip itself. However, there would not it would not damage the brain. And during the surgery, a surgeon won't be present there, except for the surgeon's place. There would be an advanced robot and would use precise movements and a 1 millimeter needle to sew your brain and to do the whole operation part, as humans tend to be quite clumsy. And lastly, the chip itself would be revolutionary, as I've stated, that it would be able to transfer brain activity in the form of input, and that wirelessly. It is genuinely difficult for me to render the importance of Neuralink, as it would be a giant leap in technology. We would have greater access to our brain, and we would be able to understand ourselves more. Like, why do we think? Why do we dream? But most importantly, this invention would act as a giant boost towards various new inventions being developed that would probably be 10 times greater than the Neuralink itself. And that is all. Thank you so much for your attention, and that is the end. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Nithya and today I'll be performing some fun experiments related to chemistry. So here I have some KMNO4. I will be taking 3 spoons of KMNO4 and putting in this china bowl. Then I'll be taking glycerol mixed with water, like 10 ml. Now we're going to have another fun experiment related to fire. Here I have an aqueous solution of copper sulfate, which as you can see is blue. Over here I have some concentrated HCl, and now I'll be mixing these 2 solutions. If you see, the color changes from blue to green. Now we'll be keeping this in the fume hood as gases will be evolved. Over here I have an aluminium foil piece. Now I will be adding this to the solution and gases will be evolved. That's why we're doing it in the fume hood. As you see, there was a hydrogen pop sound. Also, there is a dancing flame. Now continuing, I will be doing the silver mirror glass experiment. I have sodium hydroxide solution over here. I will be dropping it into some silver nitrate. Some brown PBT will be forming. Now I'll be keeping this back over here. Now I will shake a bit. Now I'll put some ammonia until the PPT is dissolved. As you see, there's the remaining PBT at the bottom, everything else is colorless. Now I'll be adding this dextrose into the solution of the Now I'll shake vigorously. Now, as you see, there's only liquid at the top and there's silver at the bottom. If you can see, you should be able to see the reflection of the phone camera. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed the experiments as much as I did. Bye.
Thank you, Adrian and Nithya, for giving us something innovative and enjoyable. With this, we would like to conclude by congratulating all our students, as it was an amazing, informative, and wonderful presentation by all of you. Thank you, parents, for accompanying us in this journey. I, Armin, on behalf of the Excelsior American School, would like to take this opportunity to extend our hearty thanks to all of their motivating presence. I would also like to show my deep sense of gratitude to our respected director, Ms. Geeta Sachdeva, and our vice principal, Ms. Arupjit, who has always guided us and inspired us to imbibe newer ideas and technologies. I want to extend a sincere thanks to all our teachers who are encouraging students to adopt creative and innovative ideas by creating a happy and engaging learning space for all our young learners. Last but not the least, biggest thanks to all the parents who have worked hand in hand with us to make this event a huge success and for encouraging and motivating us with their presence. This wouldn't have been possible without your support. Thanks a lot for being a part of Brainiac 2020.